Story time because I'm bored.
Basically, because there's only 2 weeks of summer break left for me. I'm going to be sharing a bit about my old school and what it was like and such. So, we're starting off with how I traumatized my religion teacher. At the time, I used to go to a private Catholic school, and it was actually pretty good. You changed teachers once you got to junior high, but the junior high religion teacher was the same dude for all 3 years of it. He was really nice despite his older age, and he was actually pretty funny. Like, this dude had a wife and kids but still found time to watch Dance Moms and Outer Banks. He'd talk with some of the girls about Dancing with the Stars, and then discuss sports with the guys. Needless to say, he was pretty chill. Anyway, in this religion class we had weekly assignments, and how he checked them is that he would walk around to each student and make sure they did all their work for that week. So one week, he was walking around and checking my work, and then he noticed my Pochita keychain hanging off of my pencil case. I read manga a lot, and because this is a preschool 8th grade school and I'd been there since kindergarten, most of my classmates knew this and they wouldn't really bother me if I showed up with a keychain from a show they didn't recognize or something. Most of the teachers were pretty chill about it as long as it wasn't a fidget. I'd gotten the keychain from Europe when I went to go visit family, and I'd had it all year, but I guess he had never seen it before. He took a good look at it and said, "Is that a dog?" I'd never had a problem with this teacher before, and he wasn't known for really getting his students in trouble. But the question still threw me off a little, so I said, yes, because technically Pochita is a dog, and I'm not about to try and explain Chainsaw Man lore to someone pushing 70. And then he said, "With a saw through its head?" And his voice was a little more concerned. At this point, my friend in this class is trying to hold in her laughter because she watched Chainsaw Man too, and there's a small snicker from a guy I know who watches anime. So I hesitantly say yes. And then he looks at me, then at the keychain, then back at me and says, "Is it okay?" And by reflex I say, "It's dead, because Pochita is dead." But that was stupid of me to say, especially to someone who doesn't know what or had never even watched anime. Again, he's pushing 70, because he looked even more concerned after I said that. So he just quietly said, "Oh," and then moved on to the next student. I was kind of embarrassed by this, but the keychain is one of those ring keychains, and I'd actually rather eat trash from a dumpster than try to take one of those off because it's so difficult, especially since I don't keep my nails that long, and Pochita was attached to the pencil case's small ass zipper. It was honestly a miracle I'd even gotten it on in the first place. Anyway, he looked at my pencil pouch weirdly for the rest of the year, and every time he saw Pochita, he cringed a little. It doesn't matter because I'd always pass with an A or higher in his class, so I guess he liked me a lot. Anyway, that's all for today. Bye little stars, Mio out.